Karibu tena.
Structure inafaa kuwa imeundwa vizuri, kuna mwangaza, sungura anaona nje. Ako na nafasi kubwa, anaweza simama, anaweza cheza humo ndani, au ako comfortable akilala pande yote, ako comfortable. Hata ukimshika anakuwa na furaha yake kwa ajili umemweka vizuri. Kama huyu ni mwanaume, ukimwona ni mrefu sana, huwa yupenda kusimama kwa cage yake. Akisimama, ngoja. Akisimama huwa anasimama na the whole height yake. Kwa hivyo kama cage kama hii ikiwa ndogo, huwa yamtatiza kusimama. Ndio maana nikamweka kwa hii cage kubwa, ndio apate furaha ya kusimama na kucheza humo ndani. Asubuhi mkiamka unakuta wakiruka wote.
A rabbitry must be well ventilated for farming. As you can see, the rabbitry up here is well ventilated everywhere, and then it must have enough light, because as much as the rabbits stay in cages most of their lives, there needs to be that light. So when you build your house, there needs to be the clear mabatis, these ones, the clear ones, yeah, at least so that the sun can come in. For the structure, remember that you can't keep rabbits in a very small structure. So at least a structure has to be 2 feet by 2 feet width by around 2 feet width. That's a good structure. So it must be big so that the rabbits are able to jump around. It must have a good height so that the rabbits are able to stretch, so that they can stretch their abdomen. And then, as you can see for these cages, for example, when we hang the hay, we hang it up here so that they can stretch to eat the hay. It's normally good, because rabbits normally usually have problems when they eat things that are wet. So when you hang them high and it's dry food like this hay, it's good for the rabbits. We have the mabatis under the cages, the clear ones. These ones we use to collect our urine. The urine flows down and it's collected in the buckets. The urine is good fertilizer and pesticide, so we collect it every day. Every morning we come and sweep, then we collect it down there. The cages are well ventilated, as you can see, and they are spacious. We also have to take care of all repairs in the cages so that the cages can't injure the small animals. As you can see, the space we are walking in through the middle is a good amount of space. I'm able to feed and see all the rabbits from all angles. So as a farmer, you can't be blind. You must know which rabbit is sick. So it's very important for you to see each and every rabbit with your own eyes. If you can't see a rabbit, it will normally cause a problem. It's good to see which rabbit is okay and which one is not. Then as for the feed, we have to feed all rabbits at the same time and equally. So for example, if I feed my rabbits at 8 in the morning and 8 in the evening, I can't again start shifting then feeding them at 5 and 4. Rabbits are very sensitive. For the food, we give them pellets. And then because we have a food table, as a farmer, to save your cost, you can't just give them food in a freestyle kind of manner. You have to have a food table. For example, I feed my rabbits 3 times a week pellets and 3 times maize jam, and 1 time I just give them hay. It helps me save on cost and also have this structure, a certain management kind of table. It usually saves in cost instead of feeding them freestyle. It's very good. And then rabbits need clean water, so we give them clean water each and every day. We have to wash the bowls, the rabbit bowls, see these ones, clean water. And then once per week or once every 2 weeks, we put in some vitamins. As you can see, the vitamins are up there. So clean water is very important for rabbits to prevent diseases. Then you also need dry hay. Always check where you get your hay. You need hay that is not full of algae and fungi and so on. You need dry hay that is healthy. For my rabbits, I give them rose grass. Other farmers normally feed their rabbits Timothy hay, but my rabbits usually favor well with rose grass, so that's the one I prefer for this rabbitry. This is our mating block, as we said, and on this side, this is where we mate all our rabbits. Then when they are near to birth, we take them now to the other side, now the birthing side. So on this side we have various breeds of rabbits. For example, this is a California white rabbit. A California white usually has dark ears, dark legs and a dark tail and red eyes. This is a California white rabbit. The difference between a California white rabbit and a New Zealand white rabbit, the difference is usually that a New Zealand white is all white. The ears are white, the legs are white, the tail is white, but the eyes are still red. Both rabbits have red eyes. This is a chinchilla rabbit. It's normally bluish, grayish with a white and a belly. This is a chinchilla rabbit. It's normally gray, very fine colors. Chinchilla rabbit. Most farmers like it for its pelt. They love this skin. Usually makes very nice fur coats. This is an Angora rabbit. It has so much wool. Can't compare it to other rabbits. See, so much wool. Most farmers who keep these kinds of rabbit usually keep them for wool, fur, and clothes and so on. Then we have a Dutch rabbit. A Dutch rabbit is normally one of the friendliest rabbits, and kids can keep this kind of rabbit because it's usually friendly and can stay around the house. This is a Dutch rabbit. It's normally a smaller kind of rabbit with a white pelt around the neck and a line, and then the white undertoes. So it's usually smaller in size. This is a mature Dutch, but you can't tell it's mature because it's so small, but it's a mature Dutch rabbit. Usually one of the friendliest rabbits. This is a cinnamon rabbit. I'll show you, but it's a teenage one. It's brown in color. This is a cinnamon rabbit. It's usually brown. This is a male teenager cinnamon rabbit. Very nice pelt. Then the last kind of rabbit we have in this rabbitry is a Havana rabbit. A Havana rabbit is usually all black rabbit. This is a Havana rabbit, a matured Havana rabbit. It's usually all black. Usually has a very nice pelt too. This is a male rabbit, a champagne d'Argent. It normally looks like it's pink, white, brownish. It's called a champagne rabbit, champagne d'Argent. I normally mix those types of rabbits, any breed you want, to see what rabbit can be produced from that. For example, the kids that we've seen on that side, the kittens, close to all of them are interbreeding. I've done a chinchilla and I've done an Angora with a California white. I've done a Dutch and an Angora. So I usually want to explore and see what will come out from that kind of breeding, because I'm a curious farmer too. But it's quite allowed. You can breed this rabbit with that kind of rabbit. Now the only thing that's not allowed in rabbit farming is inbreeding. Inbreeding refers to when you breed rabbits from the same litter. That's meaning rabbits that were born together, then now you start breeding them together. Inbreeding is not workable and it's not allowed, because inbreeding usually leads to a weak rabbitry. So as a good farmer, what I advise farmers is, if you have a rabbitry, always outsource your male rabbits from outside rabbitries.
Ukianza kufuga sungura, lazima uwe na space. Kwa ajili vile wanazidi kuzaana, lazima expand. Kwa hivyo kuna costs ya chakula, kuna cost ya materials, kuna cost ya expansion. Pia serikali yetu haijatunga mkono kama wakulima kujitambulisha, hawatutumii wale wanaita extension officers. Tamaduni za sungura huwa naona hawazaani wakiwa wa familia moja. Hakizaa ataua hawa watoto wote. Sasa mkulima unabaki pale, kuna hasara. Mara nyingi hizi za kiume zikianza kufika miezi 2-3 huwa zaanza kupigana ziko kwa cage moja. Sawa, ni vizuri ukawa separate wakiwa hapa miezi 2, kisha wakiwa tena hiyo umri kama umeweka wote pamoja, kike na kiume, pale wale wa dada zao wanaweza pewa ujauzito na ndugu zao. Na hakuna faida pale, kwa ajili wakizaa you still lose all those kids. Kuna mwenye hata kubali kuwalea kabisa na hata nyonyesha, kwa hivyo inakuwa ni hasara.
Now these rabbits, when you breed them together, what happens over time if you practice in breeding, you start getting weaker litters. So you start getting smaller rabbits or rabbits that die after 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So inbreeding is dangerous, and when you start inbreeding from the onset, the only way to recover is to wipe out your rabbitry and then start from scratch. So as farmers, what I can advise other farmers is, when you are starting rabbit farming, always make sure your males are from other rabbitries. If one of my males becomes weak, I cull it. To cull means I kill it, or we just eat it or something, so that I can get now another male from outside. But then you can always breed rabbits from other breeds with others. For example, you can breed a California white with a New Zealand white, a chinchilla with an Angora, a cinnamon with a Havana. And then, as you can see, the rabbitry is well ventilated because rabbits need fresh air, and the urine that's collected on these boards is normally rich in ammonia. So that's the reason why the ventilation is very important, because the ammonia in the urine is normally what chokes the rabbit, so that now they start becoming sick. So it's very important for you to have good ventilation and nice cleanliness. For example, you can see we clean our rabbitry every day to prevent that, because it's very important for the fresh air in the rabbitry. There needs to be somewhere they can lay their foot to prevent sawhawks, because it's wire mesh underneath. If you don't have wood, inaanza kuwakata kwa vidole. So it's very important to na place wanaweza rest kambao hivi. And then the teeth of a rabbit grow continuously for life. So the wood in the cage, they normally chew on it. Now when they chew on that wood, it sharpens their teeth, and it also saws them down. So hiyo wood inakuwaga ina serve purpose mbili. Ina prevent hizo sawhawks na ina sharpen teeth zao. The same with hay. Hay also, because it's rich in fiber, also pia ina meno zao, because they tend to overgrow. And if the teeth of a rabbit overgrow, then they can't eat anymore, and if they can't eat, they die. So that's why it's very important that you never let the teeth of a rabbit overgrow. That's the reason now we have the wood, and now we feed them hay.
Shukran sana kwa kutazama Kilimo Hai. Bila shaka umejifunza mengi. Kumbuka kutazama Kilimo Hai wiki ijayo, wakati na saa kama hii, kwa makala mengine kipindi chako cha ukulima. Tukutane tena papa hapa Al Huda TV, same time, same place. Hii ni Kilimo Hai. Mimi ni Ali Salim. Alamsiki.